Hello, yogis. I'm Deanna, and for our practice today, we'll be focused on really boosting that immune system and encouraging the lymphatic system. So I want to share a little bit about what the lymphatic system is and why it's so important in our immune health. Yoga is a great practice for supporting this system. Our lymphatic system is actually our body's largest circulatory system, and it's intimately tied with that immune system in that it helps to rid the body of toxins and waste. It's our body's first line of defense against an invader or an infection. And the interesting thing about the lymphatic system is, unlike our blood system, which has our heart to pump the blood throughout our body, our lymphatic system does not have a pump. And this could be where we run into an issue with stagnation. The lymphatic system really relies on movement in the body. So that movement can be the contraction of muscles, through breathing, through exercise. Another really great way to help encourage that movement of the lymph is through dry brushing or hot and cold showers. And for today's practice, we'll be using our yoga asanas or our postures and our breath work to really encourage that flow of lymph. A healthy flow means that we have a healthy body. One of the areas that we will focus on today is really in the neck, where we have a lot of lymph nodes in our chest region. We'll also be focusing on our underarms, our armpits, our sides of our body, and then also in our groin. So our lymphatic system actually flows all one direction towards the heart. I like to think of it as kind of our sewer system or our sewage system. So really a network of organs and tissues removing any waste or toxins from the body. So really important that we support this system. What can cause stagnation is really inactivity, any sort of dehydration in the body. Stress is a big is a way to cause the system to have some stagnation in it as well, being in that fight or flight mode. And so today's practice will be about energizing the body, getting that flowing, and then also creating some peace and tranquility within the mind. So let's go ahead and get started. So find a comfortable seated position. Begin to bring the hands to the heart and just start to warm up the palms. Starting to create some heat here. We'll close the eyes, bring the thumbs into the chest area here. Begin to lift through the shoulders. And start to tune into your own body, your own sensations, your breath. If that nose breathing is available to you, begin to breathe in and out through the nose. Starting to fill the belly, the lungs, the chest. Notice the collarbones maybe rise. With the exhale, find a little bit of ease, release. We'll surrender this morning. Be growing a little bit taller through the crown of the head. Lifting the heart, the chest towards the sky. Just roll the shoulders down and back away from the ears. How are you feeling this morning? Without any judgment, just notice any sensations, any tension. Anything that's showing up in your body. Begin to bring that focus into the breath. Starting to center the mind. Inviting in this quality of ease and grace and release to your practice. And I thank you and honor you for joining me on your mat today, for supporting your beautiful body, this amazing immune system and lymphatic system we have. As we open the eyes, bring the hands down to the sides, and we'll start today with our neck. So just begin with the left shoulder coming up to the ear on the inhale, and we'll exhale, release that down. Inhale the opposite ear, right ear to the right shoulder. Exhale, release. So we'll just start with getting into the lymph nodes up in the neck, just rotating between the right, left shoulder, connecting that breath. Inhale. Really exaggerating this, and then exhale, really soften the shoulder down, away from the ears. Inhale to the right. Exhale, release. One more on each side. Inhale up. Exhale, release. Inhale to the right. Exhale, release. And then just begin to make some circles with the shoulders. Starting to loosen up that chest. Back of the heart. Using our breath in yoga is another really amazing way to encourage this flow through our lymphatic system. And taking those full inhales and exhales, and then rotating the shoulders in the opposite direction. And we'll release that down. Just shaking it out. Release the right ear to that right shoulder. Imagine you're really breathing into that side of the neck. Maybe closing the eyes, tuning into those sensations in the body as we warm up this morning. Full inhale and exhale. And keeping the neck where it is, begin to bring that gaze over that right shoulder, getting into the back of the neck. We have a lot of lymph nodes along the side here. It's that contraction of the muscles and the tissues that help to move that lymph fluid. And we'll release it back through center. Left ear to the left shoulder. We have these infection-fighting white blood cells that are carried throughout our lymph system. With that adequate flow, we're able to respond more quickly to an invader, to the first sign of an infection. And bringing that gaze over that shoulder, opening up the back of the neck here. Full breath in and out. And we'll bring the gaze back through center, tucking the chin to the chest, getting into the back of the neck. Roll the shoulders down and away from the ears, and find a little bit more length in the back of the head. Just maybe lengthening through that crown here, really tucking that chin to the chest, compressing in on that thyroid and parathyroid gland. We'll release the neck back through neutral. And just make some circles here, maybe closing the eyes. When I warm up in the morning, I like to really tune in. What are the sensations? What are the messages that the body may be giving you today? Having a little bit of awareness. Rotating into the opposite direction. Going at your own speed, your own pace. Is there anything in your life today that you'd like to release? And we'll come back through center. We're going to bring our fingertips up to the tops of our shoulders. And as we inhale, we'll reach the elbows all the way up, forward, maybe touching the elbows, and exhale down and around. Inhale up, exhale, release. One more here, inhale up, exhale, and we'll release. And just shaking that out, making some circles with the wrists. I'm going to sweep the arms all the way overhead, reach to the fingertips, find some length in the belly, Exhale, release. A little micro twist here onto each side. As we're just still warming up this morning, making some circles, getting some flexibility, some movement in the spine. Move into the other direction here. Be tucking that belly in towards the spine, releasing the chest forward. And then for this next one, we're going to bring the hands all the way overhead, sweep that right arm down, reach those left fingertips, and then get into that underside of the body here. So we have a lot of flow that happens here, especially in women. During our cycle, we can tend to get some stagnation. It can also cause some discomfort in our breast tissue. So really reach through the fingertips. Send that breath into that underarm, the armpit. Rotate the chest slightly open. And we'll exhale, reach the hands all the way forward, maybe walking them forward a bit here. Coming up onto the fingertips, find a little length, and exhale down. We'll walk the hands back in. If you need to switch the crossing of the legs, you can always have the legs out in front of you for this as well. Next side, we'll reach the hands all the way overhead. Exhale, release that left hand down. Reach this side through the right fingertips. Find a little softness in that left shoulder, so we don't have it up in the air, but we're finding a little bit more space. So this practice will be about compressing, contracting the muscles, and then releasing and relaxing. One more full breath here, lift through the chest. Exhale, release that hand down as well. We're going to move into our tabletop. A little bit more warmed up in the center region here. And then we'll move into our flow this morning. And we'll come back to this neck space, these underarms, the side of the body in just a minute here. So coming onto the knees, if you need a little extra cushion this morning. Otherwise, we'll just stack the hands underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips here, and just begin with this cat-cow. So inhale to lift the gaze, lower the belly, lifting that tailbone, finding length in the front of the body, and then we'll press into the hands around the back, and then as if you're shining the back of the heart towards the sky. So gaze is coming towards the belly button. Inhale, come back through center, move into that cow. Exhale to cat. And again here, I invite you to just close the eyes, use the breath as your guide. We'll come back to neutral. We're going to come into puppy dog. So walk the hands forward, keeping the hips up high. Just begin to lower the chin or the chest down towards the mat. You can always grab a block for underneath here and bring the forehead to a block. Otherwise, just lower the chest between the arms. We'll slowly walk the hands back in here. Wiggle the hips a little side to side. I'm going to walk the hands all the way back up and come into a little bit of a great lymphatic exercise for the arms. So many of you guys may be familiar with the eagle arms. So for today, we're going to bring that left elbow. So moving into the eagle arm, so bring that left elbow into that 90 degrees, sweep that right arm underneath, and then crossing them over any amount. So maybe your hands touch, maybe you come all the way to the palms, wherever your mobility is today. I'm going to just move to the side so you can see this here. Then we'll draw the elbows in towards the chest. Really squeezing everything into that midline here. So squeezing the arms. We have some great pressure points within the elbows and the shoulders. This is a great opener here. And I'm going to begin to sit back down as I tuck the elbows into the belly. Inhale to lift and rise. Bring the elbows up towards the sky, slight back bend. And then one more, elbows towards the belly. Sitting down. And then opening back up. And then we'll slowly release. Sweep the arms all the way overhead. Exhale that down. And this time we're going to bring that right arm into that 90 degrees. Sweep the left arm underneath. Interlace the hands or the palms and then draw the elbows in towards the chest. Come back in here on this side. Get everything a nice squeeze, really contracting these active arms here. And as we exhale, bring the elbows towards the belly, tucking the chin to the chest. And then inhale to rise. Slight back bend. Exhale, press elbows back towards the belly. So we're compressing. We're also engaging this movement here to really get that circulatory system to turn on. And one more here. Back through center. We'll release the hands, sweeping the arms overhead. And then we'll exhale, we'll release that down. Step that right foot forward here, coming into that low lunge. Maybe just walking the hands towards the mat. Wiggling into that hip joint here. And we'll come into that low lunge, Anjani asana. Reach the arms overhead. And as we exhale, elbows come back, opening the chest. Exhale, hands through heart center. We'll cross the elbow over that opposite knee. Coming into a gentle twist on this side. Even squeezing the thighs together here. To really get deeper into that twist. And as we exhale, we're going to release, straightening that right leg and leaning over towards the knee here. Finding that flat back, a little bit of a length here in the spine, and then rounding that head towards the knee. We'll start to release that foot. Walking that out to the side, maybe just rolling onto the long edge or that right edge of that right foot. Just moving the hip back and forth here. We'll start to walk that right foot back. Switch. Come into this low lunge on the left side, reaching the hands overhead. And we'll cactus the arms, open the chest. And that gaze. And exhale, the hands come back through the heart center here. Crossing that right elbow over the left, coming into this twist on this side. And when you kind of imagine zipping up the legs or squeezing the thighs together, you kind of lift a little bit out. So we're not really dumping into the hips. We're staying really active, but we're also allowing us to get a little deeper into that twist. So find your edge without strain or any pain. Just finding that gentle place where you're challenging the body, but also finding a bit of release and ease. And that's where the breath can come in really handy here. And slowly unwinding there. I'm going to step towards the top of the mat. Bending the knees, bending the chest, and releasing the head all the way down. So for this first one, we'll keep the knees really generously bent here. So allowing that chest and the head just to fall down over the mat. these inversions, or anytime that we allow the head to go beneath the heart, can be really great for encouraging that drainage, that lymph drainage, that flow. And then we'll come into a halfway lift. You're going to straighten the legs, straightening the back. And just take a moment to welcome the hamstrings today, warming them up. And then slowly starting to stack the vertebrae one at a time as we round the back, coming up into this root to rise. All right, we're going to sweep our hands all the way overhead. And again, getting back into this underarm area, in this neck space, interlace the fingers, come into that steeple grip, reach all the way up to the top. The feet can be together or slightly apart, and then begin to fold over to the right. Hips may come out to the left slightly. Continuing to breathe. Holding this a little bit longer here, and then on the next inhale, we'll reach back all the way through center, extend up through the fingertips, and then exhale over to the opposite side. Hips come over to the right. Remember not to hold the breath here. You need to gently back off. And we'll reach back through the fingertips. And as we exhale, we're going to swan dive forward. Release everything down. Maybe bending that right knee, left knee. And then come into that halfway lift. We'll press into the feet and then root to rise. Reverse that swan dive, coming all the way up. Slight back bend, and exhale, release the hands down by the sides. So we're going to do one more of those here, starting at maybe the top of your mat. We'll inhale, sweep the arms all the way up. Interlace the fingers, and then reach through the pointer finger and come all the way over to the right. Really imagining opening up that left side of the body, tucking the belly in towards the spine. Legs are active here. Inhale back through center. Reach a little taller, then exhale, release over to the left. Notice if the shoulders got shrugged up into the ears. Can you release them down, find a little space, and still find an opening on that side. Come back through center here. And this time we're going to reach the hands all the way behind us. Maybe interlacing the hands at the low back. Or you can just release the palms as if you had some jeans on and we're just tucking them in your pockets there. So interlace the hands if you have that grip, and then release the hands all the way to the mat. Take a moment here just to open up the chest. This is really great for improving that circulation, reversing that forward momentum that we tend to have when we're driving or hunched over our phones or working over our computers. It's a really great way just to release the shoulders down and back. Get new flow into the chest. And then as we bend into the knees, we're going to begin to lower the chest forward, and then the hands may become all the way overhead if that's available to you. So check in with your mobility today. See where you're at. Be mindful of any shoulder injuries. And just see if you can release the head all the way down. And then for an extra little challenge from here, we're going to come all the way onto the toes, maybe lowering the hands to the low back, releasing them out to the side, getting into a little balance, and then we'll release that down, inhale the halfway lift, and then sweep the arms all the way out, coming all the way back up. Exhale, we'll release the hands down by the sides. So we're going to come into a warrior two. So we'll start with stepping that left foot back on the mat. And just checking in with that foundation of the feet. So that front foot is pointing towards the top of the mat, and then bend towards 90 with that front knee. Notice if it caved in or out, so you can bring it over that second or third toe. Bringing that booty kind of underneath you. Hips are open here. Warrior two is really excellent for getting into the groin or those inguinal ligaments. I have a hard time saying that. Another really key point where we have a lot of lymph nodes here. So this is great pose. This is a great pose for supporting that lymph flow. Bring the gaze over that middle finger, and then we'll soften the shoulders down. Really press into the feet, so legs are really active here. And notice if the weight feels like it's more in that front foot. Maybe bringing it back slightly, or vice versa. I'm going to hold this pose for a little longer here today. Soften the shoulders away from the ears. Maybe sinking a little bit more into that front knee. Keeping the legs where they are, we'll flip that palm, reverse the warrior, reach to the fingertips. And then exhale, we're going to come into that side angle pose, so that right elbow towards that right knee. Sweep the left arm all the way overhead. And then just be light on this right elbow. So we don't want to really dump into it. We want to keep that lift. And when we use that left hand to lift us all the way back up, straightening that front leg. We'll reverse the hands down, tucking that right hip slightly back. Reach to the right hand as we come into this triangle pose. You're reaching towards the top of the mat. And then rotate only the arms, coming into triangle pose. The gaze can be down, or you can bring that gaze up for a little bit more of a challenge with your balance. And then slowly coming out of that, release the hands down. We'll bring the toes, the feet parallel with one another. Sweeping the arms behind us again. Press through the palms, then slowly come down. Maybe bending the knees here. Release the head. And then maybe even sway a little side to side, bending one leg, the other. Inviting a little bit of play. Into the inside, inner thighs, the legs. Really encouraging that flow, that movement in the body, that release. We'll lower the hands to the low back. We're going to bring the hands in front of us here. And then come into a little bit of a twist. So we'll bring the right hand to the mat. Left hand comes all the way up, keeping the hips in alignment, so keeping them neutral here. And we'll release that hand down, sweeping the right arm up. And exhale, release. We're going to come right into that warrior two on this side now. So lining that heel to arch up with the feet. Bending towards 90 on this side as well. And we'll reach the hands out, spread the fingers wide. Hips are open. Bring that gaze now over that left middle finger. Soften the shoulders from the ears. And then just check in with the feet. Check in with the feet, the legs, and work yourself up the body. And a little bit of ease. Really active in this back leg here, really pressing into that heel side edge. Maybe sinking down a little deeper, we'll flip that palm, reverse that warrior, reach those fingertips. And then exhale, elbow comes towards that left knee, right arm comes overhead. Coming into this side angle here. A long line of energy from those right fingertips all the way down to that right foot. Using that right arm to lift us back up. We'll straighten that left leg, tuck that left hip slightly back and then reach, 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 reach. And then coming into triangle on this side. This warrior sequence is so great for opening up this hip region, increasing that circulatory system, moving out again any toxins or waste. That is the primary role of our lymphatic system. We'll reach that right fingertips, release the hands down, parallel the feet one more time, maybe walking them in slightly. We're going to bring the hands behind us again, this time pressing the palms down towards the mat, lift the heart, the opener here. And then we'll slowly release that as well. Before we come back down onto the mat, we're going to move into another really great pose here for increasing that flow. So we'll come into those eagle arms again. This time we're going to add in the legs. So if you need to have a chair next to you or a little bit more support, you can always wrap the foot just around and use that toe to kind of anchor you in. So we'll bring that right arm up into 90 degrees, sweep that left arm around, elbows come towards the chest, arms are active. And then we're going to root into that right foot. So shift all your body weight to the right leg. And then taking that left leg, we'll crossing it over the thigh, maybe wrapping it around. Maybe the toe just comes to the mat today for a little bit of balance, support. Squeeze everything into the midline. Chest is lifted. Everybody is active. So just tune into what feels good to you. And sometimes what feels good can feel a little challenging, a little uncomfortable. Elbows in towards the chest. Get one nice really squeeze everything in towards the midline. And then this time we'll begin to uncross the legs, shoot that right foot back, coming into that warrior three. And hands come through prayer pose, or into that full expression. And then we'll slowly come out. Shaking those legs out. We're going to come down into a squat. So a squat is another really great pose for this practice today of encouraging that lymph to move through the body, encouraging that flow. So we'll take either a block. You can also grab a pillow or some books, whatever you have at home. Toes will be pointing out towards the edge of the mat, and then just lowering down. So finding a comfortable place. I like to tuck my elbows to the insides of the knees and kind of press the hips open. Just close the eyes. Bringing a little bit of trust, whatever you're sitting on. Feeling that energy circling in the body. Maybe the heart's beating fast. Just tuning back into the breath. Slowing it down. Find a little release, a little surrender in the hips. Imagining you're sending that breath all the way down into those tight spaces. Our hips can store a lot of emotions, a lot of tension. It's our largest joint in the body. Slowly come out of this. Release the elbows, we'll release the legs. And lift that. Walk out from underneath us. And I do want to show a little inversion today. So if shoulder stand is in your practice, that's an amazing inversion for supporting that flow, bringing that lymph fluid back to the heart. Another great one is if you have a chair, you can do the same thing. So just grabbing anything you have at home that works. You can also do this with your legs up the wall. And we'll just bring our legs on top of the chair, roll down, and then you can keep it just like this, or maybe bring the legs overhead. This can be a really nice restorative position. And if shoulder stand is in your practice, then you'll bring the hands down by the sides, reach the legs overhead, find that brace, keeping the neck where it is. So I want to be really mindful of the neck here. And we're getting that weight into the shoulders. We'll begin to bring the legs overhead. And hanging out here for 1 to 3 minutes each day can be a great boost for the immune system. Again, a great boost for that lymphatic system as that circulatory system really flows all back towards the heart. So we're using gravity here. One of my other favorite ways of encouraging lymphatic flow and circulation and boosting the immune system is hot and cold therapy. It can be a little discomforting at first, but most of it's really mental. And that's just taking a hot shower, and then at the end, having a cold rinse. So it's the heat that really dilates the cells, the vessels, and then it's that cold that contracts them. And as the body tries to retain that heat or that energy, that contraction helps to expel any waste or gases from the cells. Just really supporting those detox pathways. If you're in that shoulder stand, you can bring the legs overhead, arms come to the floor, and then we'll slowly lower down. Have your legs on the chair. Just roll over to your side and make your way up. We're going to lie all the way back onto the mat here. Just taking a quick second here to reset. Let the blood balance back out in the body. We'll bring the palms down by the sides. Walk the feet in. Prepare for a bridge here. So as we press into the feet, knees are about hip distance apart here. Begin to lift the hips towards the sky. Again, getting into those groin and inguinal ligaments here, lymphatic nodes in this region. And then we'll slowly lower it down. For this next one, we'll reach the arms overhead, press through the hips. And then we'll release that one down as well. We'll finish up with a few twists here. So bringing the knees into the chest, giving it a little rock, side to side. And we'll let the knees just fall over to the left. And that gaze over that right arm. Twists are so great for massaging those internal organs, those elimination pathways, the liver, intestines, pancreas, the stomach. Bringing the knees back through center. One more nice squeeze in, and then we'll rotate the knees over to the right. Knees open back into the chest. Giving everything one nice full squeeze in here. And then releasing down into a savasana. Extend the legs long on the mat. Maybe take up some space. Arms can come out by the sides. Start to let go of that control of the breath. And just doing a scan of the body from the toes all the way up through the legs. Just checking in if there's any tension. Any areas that you can soften into. Relaxing the hips, softening the belly, the glutes, the low back. Allowing the ribs and the chest just to melt into the mat. Letting the arms just be heavy. Softening the jaw, the temple, the space between the eyes, the forehead. Hanging out here in Savasana, maybe for a few more minutes. Just imagining these amazing circulatory systems we have in our body. This innate intelligence is always with us. If you'd like to stay in Savasana, we'll go ahead and close us out here. Bringing one hand to the heart, one hand to the belly. Just feeling that prana, that life force. Feeling that beating of the heart. Maybe finding a little gratitude for this body, this breath, and for where we're at just today. And carrying this ease, this grace, this release with us throughout our day. Knowing that we can always come back to this space of peace, of inner knowing. And using yoga as a tool during this time to feel centered and grounded, feel free and expansive. Sealing the palms together, coming into that Anjali Mudra one more time here. Prayer pose with the hands. And I thank you for joining me today. May you be that love and that light that you wish to see in the world. Namaste.